Welcome to the Ben Daniel Podcast, where we're calling a spade a spade. Great to be here with you today. Caitlin Clark has been named Time Magazine's Athlete of the Year after bringing new eyeballs, new energy, new interest into the WNBA, turning the league, making it do a complete 180 from the basement to the living room, from the broom closet to the living spaces. Caitlin Clark has transformed the WNBA with her presence alone. Caitlin Clark has transformed women's sports, brought a new sense of credibility, a new sense of coolness when it comes to women's sports. Caitlin Clark has been nothing short of trailblazing these past 3 to 4 years, as she has been well on her way to earn Time Magazine's Athlete of the Year. Folks, the cover, Caitlin Clark holding a basketball. Time Athlete of the Year. What other athlete could have possibly have been on this list? What other athlete possibly could have been named Time Athlete of the Year? There's only one athlete that comes to my mind, and her name is Simone Biles. That would be the only athlete that would even be able to say only because of what she did this past summer in the Summer Olympics for Team USA. That would be the only thing. That would be the only person, the only living organism that could say, you know what? I want to be on that cover as well. It was either Caitlin Clark or Simone Biles. And Simone, I guess you're old news, honey. You're old news. The new face of women's sports is here. The real face of women's sports is here. Somebody who's not just known here in the States, somebody who's known globally, overseas, in UK, in Africa, China, Japan, the Koreas. Caitlin Clark has a fan base from she to shining sea. Caitlin Clark. I mean, what else do I need to say? Caitlin Clark played in 31 of the 35 highest attended games this season, folks. These are all the WNBA games, and there is a lot of blue. But when we take the Indiana Fever and we just overlap them in on this graph, you will see how much higher the orange lines are as opposed to the blue lines. How many more people attended the Fever games as opposed to all the other games? This isn't a knock on the other teams. In this video, this isn't a knock on the other teams. This is just, it is what it is. This is the truth. This is calling a spade a spade. The article also goes on to reveal that her college championship game between Iowa and South Carolina averaged 18.9 million viewers, becoming the second most watched women's sporting event outside the Olympics in the history of United States television, with American viewership outdrawing that of each game of the 2024 NBA Finals and the World Series. And for the first time ever, more people tuned in for the women's NCAA championship than the men's. There was more conversation about the women's than the men's side. More conversation about the Iowas, about the LSUs, about the South Carolinas, about the USCs, about the UConns, about the Stanfords, about the Texases from the women's side than just UConn, I guess, from the men's side. Much more chatter in the women's direction this past season. As a pro, she set the rookie record for most three-pointers made in a season. Set a new all-time WNBA marks for the most assists in a season. Most assists in a game. Time Magazine, they're not confirming it. They're even calling it reported as well. Caitlin Clark, $28 million reported endorsement deal with Nike, the largest ever of a women's basketball player. Clark's Fever appeared in the most watched WNBA games ever on ABC, CBS, ESPN, and ESPN2, and NBA TV. Time Magazine left that out. WNBA attracted an all-time record for more than 54 million unique viewers across all its national broadcasting platforms. The league's overall attendance jumped 48% year over year, the highest jump level in more than 2 decades. The Fever broke the WNBA record for home attendance by a single franchise, and the games were moved to NBA and NHL arenas in Vegas, Atlanta, DC. And then when she goes and hits the big boy arenas like Minnesota, they take the curtain off the top. When she goes to the Barclays, they take the curtain off the top. When she goes to all these other places that usually have the curtain, the top curtain roped off, the top section roped off, curtained off, when Caitlin Clark's in town, people come and watch those games. Not only on the court is she driving sales, but off the court, she's driving sales. Number one merchandise sales. Turn around the WNBA social media. Turn around the Indiana Fever social media. Was treated like a celebrity, was treated like Taylor Swift, was treated like the Beatles, was treated like Elvis Presley when she went and took part of the LPGA Pro-Am Tour. Christy Sides even made note during the season, it's in the article, that there was so much fanfare outside of the bus. People Christy Sides' age, people Christy Sides' mom's age. Christy Sides herself said it was like the Beatles out there. When asked to define her year in one word, Clark chooses the word historic. I've been able to captivate so many people that have never watched women's sports, let alone women's basketball, and turn them into fans, she says. Article says, good luck naming somebody who can do that, who can alter the trajectory of an entire team, of an entire league, the way Caitlin Clark did. When Lionel Messi came to the States, he transformed the MLS. He's year 20 in his career. Not year 1, not year 2, not year 3, year 2-0 for Lionel Messi. There's been spurts when Beckham came, when Rooney came. Those were all little building blocks to when Messi eventually came and did his thing over there in Miami FC. Are we surprised? Caitlin Clark, again, we're not surprised. There was only one athlete who maybe even has a conversation for this. And that's based on what she did in the Olympic Games. But again, it's athlete of the year, not athlete of a 3-week span. Athlete of the year. And when we talk year, nobody has had a better year. From January to now. I mean, Caitlin Clark's first, second, and third. From January to now, Caitlin Clark. I mean, come on. What are we doing here? Now, there is a nice little slick shot that Time Magazine threw in there. Don't worry. We're going to talk about that very shortly. But I appreciate all the support. Please like the video if you enjoyed today's content. Don't forget to subscribe to the channel. If you haven't subscribed already, I would so greatly appreciate that. Caitlin Clark, Time Magazine's Athlete of the Year. Clark's skyrocketing fame has upended her life at a dizzying rate. She now has an advanced security squad. A fan asked her to sign a sonogram. There's just so much weird stuff, she says. Man, salute to Caitlin Clark. Salute to all of you. Appreciate the support. Don't forget to leave a comment. Let me know what you think. As always, take it easy.